Welcome, my name is Kevin, and today we are going to be talking about hydrogen bonding and why it is important to us as scientists. So what exactly is hydrogen bonding? Well, the Idaho State Department of Education defines hydrogen bonding as a type of intermolecular attraction that occurs between polar molecules containing hydrogen bonded to a highly electronegative element such as fluorine, oxygen, or nitrogen. Well, this can be a little bit confusing. It's an extremely thick definition, and so what we're going to do first is we're actually going to break this down. The first part of the definition that we are going to look at is a type of intermolecular attraction. And so as we can see on the diagram below, the bond between hydrogen and chlorine has a slightly positive, slightly negative charge to it, the slightly positive being on the hydrogen and the slightly negative being on the chlorine. That actual attraction between that hydrogen and chlorine on the right is called the intramolecular attraction. Now, when we have multiple hydrogen-chlorine molecules in a solution, the slightly positive hydrogen will be attracted to the slightly negative chlorine on a different molecule. This is called intermolecular attraction. The next part of the definition that we are going to look at is that occurs between polar molecules and what exactly a polar molecule is. For example, on water molecules, we have two hydrogens that are slightly positive bonded with an oxygen, which is slightly negative. This change in charge gives our oxygen, it causes our oxygen to move towards one end and our hydrogens to move to the other because they align up together with their slightly positive charges on one side and the oxygen slightly negative on the other. And so this lines them up, as you can see, with the negative pole on one end and the positive pole on the other. And the last part of the definition that we are going to look at is the containing hydrogen bonded to a highly electronegative element such as fluorine, oxygen, or nitrogen. And so as we can see here in the diagram below, the hydrogen that is slightly positive on the right is hydrogen bonded to the oxygen on the left. It's going for that lone pair of electrons that's sitting on the end of the oxygen. And so throughout this we can see that the three different pieces of the definition of hydrogen bonded comes together, and in between the intermolecular attraction, the hydrogen bonding, as well as the polar molecules, you can see that it actually assists in surface tension. And as we can see here, we've all done that experiment where we've added slowly one drop of water at a time on top of a penny, and we watch how many drops of water we can get before the surface tension cannot hold the amount of water. This is actually due to hydrogen bonding, and so it's a neat example to be able to use and actually see how hydrogen bonding is being utilized in our everyday lives.